Okay, so, hi, it's me, myself, not Valentina, if you're a RuPaul's Drag Race fan, and it's like my 1 year anniversary from, well, it's like 2 months and like a day and a couple of days, some change, anniversary past my hour-long first dry run, hour-long Rumble exclusive stand-up video special release, virgin debut. And so I thought that like I would be really cool and in celebration of my 1 year anniversary of pretending to be a comedian, like, wow, it smells, record another comedy stand-up thing. Wow, it smells so badly in the building where I am sleeping in. Holy fucking shit. Literally smells like Los Angeles, only indoors. Which is both hilarious and because of, comedy equals tragedy plus time. And it's also appropriate since I am living now in downtown LA, which, if there was an area on the body of, like, if you were to put a map of California, for those people from the Golden State, if you were to put California, a map, on a human body, I'm pretty sure downtown Los Angeles, or just LA County in general, would be like in the butt crack. And we're talking like this body that we're putting California on belongs to like some fentanyl fueled like schizophrenic, I don't know, mid-20s failed TikToker who just like finished a mukbang, like Nico Avocado, but like on his deathbed. So that butthole, that rectum, that sphincter anal area is just like a mess. That's basically downtown Los Angeles. Even at its cleanest, it could be like hairless and, the night hospital nurse could have just come and like wet wiped, that poor man's booty to the best of her ability, but just takes one juicy fart to, just a little squeaker, just a little baby toot that you just kind of try to let sneak out just to alleviate a little pressure in your tummy. It can offset the balance. It can just fuck up your entire day. That's downtown Los Angeles, and that's how it smells inside this building right now. So hi, anyways, it's me, Lauren Electra. So it's so funny, I was listening to my 1 hour special stand-up virgin debut. And, I say a lot of factual statements. I say a lot of opinion-based statements, but thankfully, the kind of asshole I am is, accurate. So I try to keep my opinions rooted and based, and not just, like talking out of my ass, basically. So, but, I know that some things have been brought to light since then, and I've become more aware and more concrete in my understanding of my situation. Not to say that my situation is ideal in any sense, but it is what it is, and it could always be worse. It could have been better. It could have been over the last 10 years. My situation definitely could have been better, and I don't want to entirely say that I am 100%, not to blame for the bad situations that I found myself in. But, I would say that there was definitely a more intentional push for me to make bad choices, which I guess is actually just a part of some people's life stories, especially in certain communities, which is unfortunate when you think about it. It's sad that there are people in the world that really would try to just like hurt or destroy someone else's life, for no good reason. Obviously, there's no good reason to try and ruin another person. So for me to have experienced that myself, the only thing I can say is, yes, it could be worse. It can always be worse. And I'm thankful for the fact that I have proven myself to at least be worthy or deserving of a little grace and understanding, and that I have been given certain exceptions. I guess that's not the word I wanted. Allowances, maybe that's the word. Speaking of allowance, though, god damn, I am poor as fuck. Like, I know I'm not that poor, but for my birthday, I was forced to move from my family's home, in the wake of the alleged impending nuclear apocalypse. Like, it's not bad enough for people in general to be struggling. It's not bad enough for, the cost of living to be so impossible, concurrently, parallel to World War III. And I guess, that's just more of, people in my life intentionally trying to make my life harder, making me move. But not only was I forced to move for my 35th birthday, but I also basically was scammed out of $8,000, money that I had been rewarded from a settlement, a wrongful termination settlement that I hadn't even like dipped into for 3 months. I had been holding on like a Jewish accountant, just like living off of EBT, not having a social life, staying in that stupid, the attic of my family's house, just, you know, doing everything I could, looking for places to move. That's like the ironic thing, that the money that I was scammed out of was, I was holding on to that and saving it because I had been trying to move out of my family's house. So it wasn't even that I was like mooching off of them or, you know, being a leech or being a deadbeat. Like I have been actively, which is kind of sad, been trying to be independent and adulting successfully, and manning up for like 10 years, ever since like basically breaking up my band, this idea that I had after dropping out of college at 24 and moving to West Hollywood with a friend from college who I'm not friends with anymore. You know, just since then, working and trying to save money and trying to get my own place and trying to get my own apartment, and, you know, doing things independently, not asking my parents for money. And I finally had, like, a good amount of money, like, not anything great, you know, not by today's standards, but, like, enough to at least be able to apply for an apartment and not need a co-signer, basically, because I had savings to cover rent while, you know, looking for a job and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that was really fucked up. Like, happy fucking birthday to me, right? Like, not like we're gonna make you basically homeless, just to give you even more of a real world taste of what other people have to go through. Even though, you know, do they really have to go through it? I mean, everybody has a choice. And, you know, to some degree, you're always able to choose your own destiny. There's always a plan B. You know, my idea of plan B is, unfortunately, if things get so hard, I will end up on death row. That's my plan B. I don't want it to happen. I am crossing my fingers, my legs, and clenching my, you know, 35-year-old, slightly loosened, butt puby, butthole bramble, tumbleweed pubes, butthole, bussy. I'm clenching that, hoping that I don't ever have to resort to that, but it is always an option, and it is an option for you too, just putting it out there, because, you know, at least on death row, you have 4 walls, a ceiling, maybe not a purple mattress or a memory foam mattress to sleep on. You know, you're not going to have sheets of Egyptian cotton, but you will have some place to sleep, and you will have a toilet to shit and piss in, and they will give you toilet paper, and you will get at least 2 to 3 meals a day. So there you go. That is more than, and you'll get it for free. And that right there is a better quality of living than most Americans are experiencing today. So, Plan B does seem like a really good option when you really look at it objectively and not emotionally or from the double standard of American morality or the golden rule or the lie of the American dream, where you can achieve anything if you just work hard. I think the Epstein Island client list would prove to you that aside from dry swallowing a Cialis or Viagra or like erectile dysfunction pill, the hardest thing those people have had to do is keep a straight face when pretending to be good people who care, especially the politicians who care about the average American, as well as having a hard time keeping up with their lies, keeping their plates spinning, the lies metaphorically being the plates that they keep spinning in the public eye while they are distracting people and finding ways to cause division within the country, and distracting with, stupid, petty, easy to solve social issues. Like, I don't know, whatever dumb bullshit they could put on a ballot while they, allow they allow their criminal buddies to flood into the world with their drugs and their human trafficking and their child sex trafficking and their satanic missions. But anyways, so I am 35 and I am back living in Los Angeles after trying to run away to Las Vegas. I had myself a full-on Nomi Malone, Elizabeth Shue, Showgirls, fiasco, which is so funny because, I didn't get shaken down up front. I didn't, go and hitchhike with somebody. Technically, I didn't lose my suitcases. I have all the luggage that I went there and back with. I just, the economy is so bad. And, people are so desperate for money that I didn't even get to go gambling. That's the saddest thing. I didn't go gambling and I didn't go to a Chippendales show, which were two things that I really wanted to do. That's my Vegas, my ideal Vegas experience is go gambling, play the penny slots and win, obviously, and go to a male stripper review and maybe hire a male stripper prostitute to sit on my lap and let me put it up his butt, and then I sit on his lap and it's just he falls in love with me and then gives me a refund, and then he goes off and has his regular Thunder Down Under gigs, and I go to my job working at McDonald's or a gas station or Sephora. Oh my god, as a beauty insider at Sephora or Ulta, and then that's our life. We just come home to each other and we make sweet love, sweet, gay, versatile, flip-floppy, P and the B, man, waxed body hairless love, and watch bad TV, because the only time that I'm ever gonna watch reality TV again, or kind of any real new media in general, is if I have a significant other with whom I can look at and roll my eyes and, say, I can't believe you make me watch this crap. And, we're just so in love that they don't get offended. And then we just snuggle and, and like, I don't know, fart in bed, but not really do Dutch ovens because that's still so gross. Anyways, and and they respect me. They don't get offended that I don't want to smell their gas, and they love that I try to hide my farts any way I can. And they think I'm so adorable for pretending like I don't have bodily functions. The honeymoon phase. So yeah, that was my birthday, and this is me just updating the 1-year anniversary comedy special, Lauren Electra. Yeah. But to not get too heavy, so nuclear apocalypse. Oh my gosh, we're getting so close. I'm so excited. And the one thing that I would like to say is I really have been staying on top of my shit. Like anyone who has been brave enough to listen to my quote unquote albums of me shanking the keyboard, plunking and messing up, trying to accompany myself on the keyboard while I just did a cold, dry run first read through on my iPhone, like I'm recording now, of my songs, just so I could say that I at least recorded them and put them out there, and at least I can say I did that, even if they're shitty and sloppy and I sound like I have marbles in my mouth, or I don't know how to read English, or if I was in special ed, or if I was in English as a second language, who knows. At least I did that, and that's really cool, because I looked through it and I have 14-hour-long each albums on this dumb little social media platform, and I think that's really cool. And on top of that, I went and tried actual stand-up at an open mic. I mean, it wasn't anything special, obviously. It was it was an empty bar. It's so funny. I just wonder who I'm actually performing for. And that is both, a blessing and embarrassing at the same time, but more of a blessing. I don't want to poo-poo on anyone listening. I appreciate you, obviously. As they say in Los Angeles, I appreciate you. So thank you. But stand-up comedy is hard and intimidating. As I found out, I finally got to use, and I'm so glad I remembered to use this line. My whole thing, I've been working on this line for so long, that comedy is tragedy plus time, and that must be true, because there are a whole bunch of funny looking, sad, broken people And that would be like the audience that I'm looking out into. And that would be the joke. But I got to use that a little bit, so that was cool. And I didn't bomb. I mean, by bomb, I mean I didn't freeze while I was up there. Like, I think I only, like, took a pause for maybe, like, 3 to 5 seconds max of dead space, just while I kind of, was blanking. But I think it was like 5 minutes that I had to fill with something, and I did it, and that was cool. I even kind of feel like, going out and going to another one, because I just feel so emboldened. And, something my mom used to tell me, my real mom, not the dumb fake bitch who, keeps trying to insert herself, not the dumb fake bitch who kicked me out of my house, who keeps trying to somehow weasel her way into, the lovely new place that I'm living now. Which is just so funny. It's just like, how typical. It's just so typical. The one thing that I have going for me, and this is true, is that, like, when people, well, if you're a mental person and you meet me, you will most likely end up missing me. I don't really know about any sane people, because none of my old friends have tried reaching out to me over the last 10 years since drifting apart, but it is what it is. But I guess let's just say if you're on the spectrum, or you are into wet ass pussy, or like juicy boy, aging twink, middle-aged boy pussy, now man pussy, you get to know me and shit happens and I drift away from your life, you will most likely miss me. If so facto ergo, the dumb bitch who pretends to be my mom. Anyways, so my real mom used to tell me not to say bad things, not for me to say bad things about myself, because she would say that there are plenty of people in the world who will say bad things about you for you. So, in my mind, and I think to her credit, she was, saying, don't take the fun away from somebody else, by having low self-esteem or having a poor self-image. Like, nobody likes to make fun of somebody who is pitiful, who is actually pitiful. It's not fun to laugh at a sad clown, who falls flat on their face. That's just embarrassing and pathetic. But, if you're strong, and not even strong, but if you just have like a excuse me. It's 4:45 in the morning, so I'm just doing this to make myself tired so I'll actually fall asleep. But it's more fun to laugh at somebody who can laugh at themselves and who don't take themselves so seriously. And I think if you're able to laugh at yourself and with yourself, you won't have a poor self-image. And if you don't have a poor self-image, then you won't say bad things about yourself. And, the world has the potential to kind of be a not so great place anyways. And so, the worst thing you can do is be living in a not so great world, and like have a not so great attitude or outlook about yourself. Like, come on. So I understand what she was saying. Which is why, even though it seems like I have had moments maybe where, let's say, I didn't make the best decision, where I could have made better choices. I try not to dwell. I know for a fact that there are people out there who would like to see me kind of, feeling down in the dumps and feeling sorry for myself for the mistakes that I've made. And I've made, thankfully, not like a lot of mistakes, although the mistakes I've made have been pretty severe. But, I think it all balances out. And it's the nuclear apocalypse. Like, everybody's gonna hopefully be unalived. If you're lucky, you will be evaporated. I don't think anybody wants to survive a nuclear attack, unless you have some weird fetish about, unless, let's say, maybe you have like a micro penis and you're hoping that if you survive, the radiation will cause your dick to balloon, kind of like elephantitis or something. And then maybe other survivors, maybe you'll meet a girl who her face is all messed up and covered in blisters and boils, but the radiation gave her 3 vaginas or something, like mutant, The Hills Have Eyes type sex. And if you're into that, more power to you. Just, as always, be responsible, safe sex, or at least, be honest with your mutant, disfigured partner about your, HIV status and STD status, because, for all you know, if a nuclear bomb drops and you have chlamydia or gonorrhea, that shit could be supercharged into I don't know, some J.R. Martin or L. Ron Hubbard, or Star Trek level STD. You just don't know. And I think the one thing you want to do in a nuclear survival apocalyptic situation is make your life as easy as possible, unless you have some survivalist kink fetish. But I personally would appreciate disclosure of your any partners knowledge or self-awareness about their body. So there's that. But yeah, I'm just hoping that if I were to survive the nuclear holocaust or apocalypse, I think I would have a pretty decent time. I don't know if I'm going to do some time, but I think I would do okay. As long as I found some, food and, nothing like that, really. As long as I could just find some little, halfway burned, Beverly Hills condo, with 3 walls and no roof, but maybe a little, alcove in, the master bedroom, or let's see, maybe they have a hollowed out area in one of their 15 car garage, I could just like crawl into some kind of like crawl space with my dildo and maybe find some like coconut oil in a jar that somehow survived the blast from like Whole Foods or like Erewhon in their pantry that I could use for lube to like jack myself off, and maybe it would be radioactively charged, so I could trip while like fucking myself with my dildo. That would be so great. That would be so great. God, that would be so cost effective. Talk about not having to spend money on altering my state of mind just to experience a better orgasm, which is actually my perspective. If I had to survive the nuclear apocalypse, I just hope that jacking off would be more fun. And hopefully my dick wouldn't be covered in blisters and boils, and my palms also wouldn't be covered in blisters and boils, because that would suck. Then again, my entire penis could like melt away, depending where in the blast zone I was. But let me think, what else do I want to talk about? I don't know, I just like it's been a year since my first attempt at doing an hour-long comedy special, and even though this is just pretend, and nobody's really gonna see this, I'm sure, it is good to stay ready so that you never have to get ready. And I've been practicing a whole bunch of skills and disciplines, and I said in my last video that I always wanted to be famous, and I always imagined myself like on some late night talk show, talking about I guess like a movie that I could be in, or music, or I never really like knew what I was gonna be famous for, but just being openly excuse me, gay, and that I would like be sitting on stage talking to the late night host with my hunky celebrity like man candy like lover or whatever, boyfriend, husband, flavor of the week, I don't know. And I can at least say I have been staying on top of my practicing and my skill set and development of my act and persona and stage character, that if someone were to hold a gun up to my head and said, you have to perform a 15-minute routine right now, or we'll blow your brains out. I mean, first of all, I don't know if a gun would actually kill me, because I do remember waking up in the morgue from my past life. That wasn't fun. That's for another video. And I think having that experience is the reason why Plan B, or surviving a nuclear apocalypse, doesn't seem so bad, because I've already spent like at least 24 hours just laying on a cold metal slab in a confined metal space, like in the drawer of a morgue at a hospital, waiting for the what are they called? Not an embalmer, coroner, or is it the embalmer, mortician? I don't know. Whatever the the title is of the person who works at a hospital that investigates the cadaver or does, the autopsy of dead bodies. I just remember laying there in the dark, in the cold, because, they have to keep it cold, otherwise the bodies start to smell. I just remember laying there, wondering how long it was going to take for someone to come in for their shift. Oh, shoot, word salad. Where was I going to go? Let's see. Gay, slutty, apocalypse. I've been murdered once before. Oh, working on my skills. Bullet to the brain, right? I think if someone were to do that, I could easily bust out, 15 minutes of material. And I don't think that I would shank the keyboard too much. I think I would be able to, at least fake it more convincingly than I was doing a year ago when I was, re-familiarizing myself with the major and minor keys of my shitty $100 Craigslist used Yamaha keyboard. So that's really cool. And that's really cool because, this new place that I'm living, it's got a whole bunch of very talented people, artists in the Los Angeles area. And so I'm just happy that at least, I'm not totally humiliating myself or even worse, making anybody's ears bleed, either with my comedy or my music, musicianship, musicality, and songs. So that's really cool. And that's really cool. So, I may have lost money for over my birthday, but I can say with confidence that I've at least given the gift of confidence to myself for my birthday and growth, which is something I think we all strive to do. I took it upon myself to challenge myself to grow and mature and get better at the things that I wanted to get better at, and I think I've done that, so that's really cool. Sure, the way that I got here may not have been the prettiest, and there are definitely things that I would have done differently, and would do differently now if I had 100% power over my life, but at least I can say that I feel more secure in my ability to back up all my shit talking, which is, I guess, really kind of rare these days. And, I don't know if that's actually kind of spoiling the fun. I know that when somebody kind of it's kind of the whole taking yourself too seriously type thing, but for me it's I enjoy not having to suck up to people or kiss ass. I would rather people kiss my ass, to be honest. I know that I talked about me sticking my little penis into some guy's poop hole, waxed, hairless, douched, cleaned out, You could eat a Thanksgiving dinner off of, or not out of it, not digested, off of it. But like, I know I said that, but at the end of it, I really, I am a bottom. I do like being, the smaller one, under someone who's man-sized and in shape and decent looking, with, something under their waistline, something dangling between their legs, even if it doesn't hang all the way to their, hammer toe or toe jam, athlete's feet, I don't know. So, I mean, I would always choose to, be the one that has my hole played with and kissed and licked and tongue fucked and bread loaded up and felched. So that's so fetch. Anyways, so I guess that's all I'm gonna do for now. This has been about an hour, and thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed my little anniversary special of my attempt at having an hour-long comedy stand-up. As usual, I know that there weren't any clear and like haha knock jokes, so I guess to just say that I didn't leave anyone who's listening hanging. Here is a dad joke that I have, that I came up with myself a couple years ago that I think is a little clunky, but I mean, it's a dad joke, so it's funny. Or, I'm telling you it's funny, so it has to be funny. You don't have a choice. It's funny because I know better than you. What do you call a foul-mouthed fungus? A shit-talking mushroom, or shit-talky mushroom. I know if you have to explain the joke, it's not that funny, but, I just don't know if you caught on right away. So I'm just explaining it in case you do get it later, and maybe you want to, use it yourself, It's a good icebreaker. It's always good to have an icebreaker in your back pocket, especially in social situations if you're not very confident, like me, which I am, very confident. So you can use it at parties, and even if other people don't get it, you can always explain the joke, and you don't need to feel bad about bombing or if the joke doesn't land. And remember, because at the end of the day, all you're doing is reaching out to people. You don't have to impress people right away. You can let people get to know you, and they'll like you, and you hope they'll like you, or there could be 99 people in a room who don't believe in you, and maybe there's one extra person, which would be me, that also doesn't believe in you. But as long as you are the 101st person who does, because like my mama said, don't say bad things about yourself. Let the 99 other people say bad things about you, and you be the one person that says the one good thing about yourself. And that's all you need. And that's how you win over a crowd, by being able to laugh at yourself with the other people who are also laughing at you. And if you're laughing with the people laughing at you, then you're laughing with them, which means they are laughing with you and not at you. So that's a way to spin it around. in a positive way. So yeah, what do you call a foul-mouthed fungus? A shit-talking mushroom. Shit-talking. So yeah, hope you had a good day, and thanks for listening, and happy anniversary, Rumble. Mwah. Ow. Love it. XOXO. Your favorite, overly confident, but still sexy, aged twink, 5'7", technically mid, but still cute in the face, little homosexual, LA raised, born and raised. I didn't choose the game, but the game chose me. And I mean, at least the game has good taste, good enough taste to, pick the right one, which would be me. So, okay, that's all. Good night. And, yeah, bye.